Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so wait for you guys to join. Say what's up to everybody before you even get here. Say what you're gonna catch us on archives. I'm not even sure how long this stream right here is going to stay up. However, I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of them, a lot. Okay, so I'm here. So you guys believing all those messages, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to make you famous. A grip of them. It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just, oh, Mr. Boxing, just ignore them. Nah, it was a lot of messages. So I'm here. Show up. With all the questions you guys were asking me, a lot of questions. I'm here. So I'm going to wait, see if these dudes show up. Not trying to hear that you were sleeping, not trying to hear that you had to work, because literally were messaging me all for hours and hours. And I'm like, damn, man, like, don't they got a life? Like, Jesus Christ. So I'm here. Let's see if they show up. Stormy B Man, salute, bro. Marcus Johnson, Trick Noty was good. Who else is up in here? Gaines PP, Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More was good. The Expert Genius. So we gonna sit and wait, man, cause just answering all these questions, man. And some of these questions are so repetitive and just ridiculous. So this stream right here might not show up, or it might not stay up, rather, because it's not really, sometimes you got to check trolls, man. I know people, just ignore them. Nah. I have over 3,000 videos, and majority of my videos, probably a good portion of the 3,000 is just boxing talk, really. But sometimes you got to smack a troll upside the head. But I'm not here to name call, go back and forth. Let's really put our boxing IQ, or as a fan, our knowledge, put it to the test. No long messages, no give you time to go on Google to try to do research. Let's just go back and forth. So let's show up. Because I'm sure if I wasn't live right now and I was to respond to your messages, you'll go back and forth with me. So let's show up. And when they show up, y'all, don't block them. Let them come in with their questions. And you guys can just laugh, man, because some of these questions they were asking me, or these statements that they were sending me, laughable. So I'm gonna see if they show up. But since you guys are here, let me see. St. Cruising in the building was good. The Expert Genius, Corner Girl 66. Hey, how you doing? Yes, Corner Girl, they are. But see, I'm not gonna give them no excuses as to, hey, Ree, what's going on, sweetheart? Um, but I'm not gonna give them any excuse as to you know, not to show up. I know they live in their mom basement. I know they stealing their mom internet, driving their mom crazy, putting their name on the orange juice. You know what I mean? Walking around in their drawers in their mama house. I know they doing that, but let's talk boxing. Where are you at, man? Come on, don't. And there was a lot of you guys. It's not just one person that says something crazy. Now I'm going. Man, I had a multitude of messages from Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna see if they show up, man. And everybody showing right now is just pretty much family. I don't see nobody. Okay, I'll see you later. Is your sister with you? Okay, go ahead. Just make sure and tell her have a great day in school. Y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm seeing my babies out the door. But pretty much everybody, nah, bro. It's who is that? True, True Bruce. No, see, I know some of you guys will come through and say, no, Mr. Boxing, don't let. No, it's not about letting them get to me. It's about, because some of these questions were boxing questions, but I just want to do it live. Go just a straight shoot. None of this texting or messaging back and forth thing. Just bring your questions here and watch how dumb they look once we're live with it. So let me say what's up to all the family. T Scott, how you doing? Let me see. Um, T. Scott says, did Wilder really fire his trainer? I thought he wasn't going to make a change till after his trip to Africa. From what I'm reading, okay, from what I've seen out in the media, they saying that he's letting go of Mark Breland because Mark Breland stopped the fight. I guess they had some type of pack. Yeah, and let me get to that. Well, this kind of just goes with it, okay? So I'll get into everything, all right? But Mark Breland said, or I guess there was some type of pat that they have where allegedly if Wilder's in the ring and he's hurt, he did not want the fight to be stopped. Those were under his orders. Um, he doesn't want it, he didn't want the fight to be stopped. Okay. My opinion to that is this. If that is some type of thing they had in writing, or if it's some type of pinky swear, or if it's some type of man to man, face to face, eye to eye conversation they had on the handshake, like, hey man, if I'm ever in trouble, just let me go out on my shield, as they call it. That's fine. And if you go against his rules and he wants to let you go because of that, because you broke that rule, or that stipulation he had to be able to work in his corner, cool. Now, my opinion on that is this. When you have somebody who's working your corner that's out for your best interest, not just of you, but just you, your family, and they view you as a nephew, or they view you as a brother, or they view you as a son, and they train with you since day one, and help bring you to the place that you are now. If they visually see you struggling to the point where you have blood rushing out of your ear, at that point, as a trainer, as a man, as a friend, as somebody that understands the pact that you guys made, if they see that, bruh, they don't know. Look, man, it's one thing to be in the corner as a trainer, and I'm gonna let him go out on the shield, but it's another thing, bruh, when people don't, man, look, if I'm in the corner, the first thing I'm thinking, like, damn, is it bleeding from the brain? Is it some type of, you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to sit there and just say, oh, it might just be an laceration or a cut right on the ear. Like, you're not thinking that. You're just looking at, like, damn, he's bleeding from out of his ear. I don't know if this is some type of bleeding from the brain type thing. You start to panic and get nervous, man. The Ortiz fight, when he was hurt, stumbling around the ring in the seventh round and taking shots and all that type of thing, I didn't see them try to throw in no towel. When his eyes was puffed up bad against Duopa, I didn't see them try to throw in a towel or anything like that. Yes, I know Wilder was swinging back as the towel got thrown in, but look, man, I've been watching the fight game long enough, and I know that Deontay Wilder is the epitome of somebody that has a puncher's chance when everything looks like it's going astray. However, though, man, you had no legs. For me watching the sport, and I even heard Clarissa Shield and Darrell, they had a live yesterday. She had them live on her Instagram or something. They went Instagram live. And I was thinking the same thing. When you have no legs, you have no power. You create power from the ground up. But Mr. Boxing, Deontay Wilder has this uncanny power though, that you create power from the ground up. No legs means no power. And the right hand you were landing, Deontay, they were not doing anything to Tyson Fury, bro. He was actually sticking his tongue out at these right hands. But Mr. Boxing, he stuck his tongue out in the ninth round and all that, and he got up off the ground, and then he went down again in the 12th. Yeah, then Fury got back up. And that was with a Deontay Wilder with legs. This is Deontay Wilder with no legs, blood rushing out his ear. He's getting whipped and thrown around the ring. Um, yes, Tyson Fury was fighting dirty, but like I've always said, I'm gonna stay consistent as a fan. I've always said this. Hey man, somebody hit you in the nuts or hit you in the back of the head, hit them back in the nuts and in the back of the head. I've always said that. Also, there's a plethora of all-time greats that had little dirty tricks in their bag. Ali, one of my favorites, used to hold your head down a rabbit punch. Mike Tyson used to follow through with his hooks with his elbows. Bernard Hopkins was notorious for, if the ref was on the side of him where the ref couldn't see his offhand, he would use that offhand to hit you a little bit low, hit you on the hip, hit you on the thigh. So what Tyson Fury did was nothing new to me. Vladimir Klitschko used to lean all his weight on you and put you in chokeholds. Lennox Lewis would do the same thing at some points. I thought the stoppage was a good stoppage. So I guess Deontay Wilder would have fired me as well. I thought it was a good stoppage, champ. You can come back next time, man. That's just what I thought. Thought Tyson Fury had your number that night. And I did not foresee any type of right hand coming through, changing the fight around. Now Wilder may say, "Hey man, but I could have had 5 more rounds to prove it." Hey bro, who's to say you would have had 5 more rounds? Because I really thought you were on the verge of being stopped, being backed up in the corner, not being able to get your legs together, standing straight up with no power behind the power punches you were trying to throw. Just because you threw back, man, yeah, that was just, it was a punch that you threw back. It may have landed on Fury, but it was doing nothing, man. He had you trapped in that corner, bro. And if anything, when does Wilder just get trapped in corners? Usually he spins out, or he'll push you off of him. You literally just put up the high guard and just try to bite down on your mouthpiece and just grit through getting punched with the brunt force of Tyson Fury's punches. That's just what I saw, and I'm being dead honest. Now, let me get to this, and this is what everybody was asking me about. So I'll answer this one, but these other questions that you people that are leaving all these messages in the last 24 hours, I want you to show up, man, because you're leaving me messages throughout the whole day. It wasn't just you did it a lot in the afternoon or like it was through the whole. I'm checking my phone, like, damn, is this like? Do they think I'm their family members? Like I mean, literally getting crazy messages. Okay, so let's show up, and I'll check to see if any of you showed up. The costume thing, okay, for one, Mr. Boxing, why aren't you, if this was Dillian White said something about a costume, you could have been made a video. Well, I went live with, and shout out to my man D Style Boxing, and shout out to Stormy B Man, but I went live on D Style's channel uh, Monday night on his Aftermath show talking about this already. I just didn't get an opportunity to come to my channel. I mean, we talked about this fight and everything afterwards and what been said for 2.5 damn hours, okay? My opinion on that is this. Deontay Wilder says that his costume wore out his legs, um, and it caused him to have dead legs going into the third round. He said his costume was what, 45 pounds or 40 pounds, whatever, however many pounds it was. He said that wore his legs out because he put the costume on some time beforehand, walking to the ring, and then the walk to the ring, and then for the introductions, when he got it taken off of him, he said that he knew the game had changed. Fine, fair enough. That's his opinion. I'm not the one wearing the costume, so it possibly may have. I have no idea. My opinion on that is we can't use that, Deontay. As much as I and you guys know, to everybody on YouTube land, I'm a Deontay Wilder fanboy, according to them, right? So I'm not buying that one, bro. Because if anybody would have said that, or I wouldn't buy it. Whether it's Deontay Wilder, whether it's F.A. Ajagba, whether it's Andrew Ruiz, whether it's Anthony Joshua. Look, speaking of Anthony Joshua, when he came in the ring and said, "Oh, I heard a boo in the crowd and it rattled me," or "I got thrown off," or "my mouthpiece," or all the shit they were saying about AJ, I didn't buy it. Um, and again, let me stay consistent as just a complete boxing fan, not this whole uh, saga between Wilder, AJ, Fury, and that we're all getting into. I'm talking about period. As a boxing fan, period, I never had excuses for any fighter. Mike Tyson ripped the fucking Evander Holyfield ear off because he felt as if that he was being headbutted and he was not being helped by the referee. That's an excuse. I'm not buying it. But Mr. Boxing is totally different. No, I just look when you in that ring, man. It's on you. Again, in Deontay Wilder's mind, maybe look, I'm not in his body. Maybe when he did take the shit off, as self-thought, he was probably like, damn, man, my fucking legs. Like, he was probably sitting there during the introductions, like, geez, like, what the fuck happened to my legs? But you know what? It's too late. By that time, it's too late. And I think the day before or the 2 days before, 3 days, I know Deontay Wilder has tried that outfit on and walked around in it. So, but even with that said, maybe he felt as if it'd be cool, it'd be all right. Regardless of whatever, man, whatever he thinks or whatever, I just don't buy it. I think Tyson Fury had a lot to do with you getting beat. And Wilder also said that Fury didn't hurt him. I'm not buying that either, bro, because when he was hitting you, he was literally turning your body, man. Like, I'm just look, when undefeated fighters, especially undefeated fighters, when they lose a fight, I think that they're not used to this at the pro ranks because some of them have lost some amateur fights. I just think they're just in denial as an athlete. Just as athletes, you're just in denial. Like, damn, it had to have been something. You always look for something. So this isn't a Deontay Wilder thing. This is just, you had to, just like Anthony Joshua out there, and I keep using Anthony Joshua because he's fresh. What happened with him and Ruiz is just fresh in everybody's minds. And just communicating with boxing fans here online, when I bring up history, man, dude, I'm starting to realize a lot of people were not watching boxing in the 90s. They were not watching boxing in the 80s. Some of these dudes, man, I'll come to find out, just really started watching the sport after their favorite fighter won a world title. And that's the honest truth. So I'm going to use the most current, you know what I mean? The most current of current examples, so nobody can say, or nobody can pretend like they know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to use the most current of the current stuff, okay? Um, but yeah, nah, I'm not buying that one. And it's Bomb Squad all day, but I'm not buying that one. Um, that he didn't hurt you, nah, I clearly seen him hurting you. And he took more advantage of your legs not being there to put a hurting on you. I just think, bruh, take your vacation, get back in the mix, and you're going to exercise your rematch clause, get back in the lab, work on some things. If he wants to fight dirty, bruh, then you got to get your dirty tactics in order. You know what I mean? How about one of them Alabama slammers, as my man Story B-Man said? How about when he was putting you in a chokehold and leaning down and all that type of thing? If you feel as if like, hey man, this shit ain't fair, well then how about one of them Alabama slammers to his nuts? Mr. Boxing, you're advocating for somebody to hit? No, I'm advocating for somebody, if you feel as if that you're getting hit behind your head, hit back behind the head. You feel as if you're getting hit low, you hit low. Whatever you feel is taking place in the ring, then you do it back. I've always felt like that. And I tried to use an example that has nothing to do with this era with Mike Tyson and Holyfield, but I'm sure somebody will come here and act like they don't understand what I'm saying. So let me see if these people are going to show up. And I got a lot of videos coming, you guys. Before I get to that, for those of you that want to hear me, really spit about boxing, uh, or as far as upcoming fights, I went and watched a lot of Shondell Winters yesterday. I'm going to break down Parker and Winters fight. I think Parker's going to win the fight, but I just want to break it down the way I do. And then I'm going to be it is promotion because I'm going to be talking about it in depth about the Konaki Helenius card. And then you got Frank Sanchez taking on Joey DeWeco, and F.A. Jagba is coming back as well. So I'm gonna break down that card as well. But I wanted to get this live popping though, man, because these people had a lot to say. I put up in my community section the Ring Magazine's top 10, right? Their top 10 is all over the place. First of all, they have Deontay Wilder somehow, some way rated behind Dillian White. Okay. Not really that many comments. Then I put up my top 25. Here comes all the bullshit. But that lets me know, like, damn, what they're really saying to me without saying it is they really value my top 25 more than Ring Magazine's top 10. Even though they think they're telling me off, they really value mine's more than Ring Magazine's. And I really haven't took Ring Magazine seriously in shit, man. And I've said this before. I don't know when's the last time I bought a Ring Magazine. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Maybe shit, man. When last time I bought a ring? 05 maybe? 06. I don't even know. Maybe 05. But Mr. Boxing, if you don't care about their top 10, well then why did you post it? Because it was so outlandish to me. I couldn't believe they had Dillian White over Wilder. What? And don't give me this, his resume is better. Man, this dude showed up. Well, look at Wilder's last fight. I mean, he lost, he got beat. Yes, he did. He got beat one-sided. But did you happen to check out Dillian White's last fight and his win when he came in and completely out of shape and 200 and okay, my wife is listening. She said it was 2007. She remembers. 2007. So so yeah, 2007 was the last time I bought a Ring Magazine. And she actually gave the story too. I didn't read, hey babe, I didn't read your whole message, but you said 2007, you left a long ass novel about when and where and how I bought it and what store. So it was by the kid. Okay, it was when we used to live in the northeast part of the Twin Cities. and it was by the kids' daycare. Now I do. Yep, I do remember now because I remember that daycare we used to send them to. Yep, I do. It was that little. Was it Kowalski's? The little food mart. I'm talking to my wife via text, y'all. But yes, yes, I do remember now, babe. Yeah, I do. Yeah, 2007, y'all. Yep, I remember that little grocery store. And it was always funny that you'll find rings and those good boxing magazines in like the most obscure mom and pops type stores. Because that's where I used to get all my magazines from growing up through the 90s and the late 80s was them type of stores. But back to this though, all right. Yeah, he came in at 271 pounds. He won the fight against Walk, but 271 looked like the damn, I mean, he just looked completely out of shape. But Dillian White does have some good victories, but he ain't never won no world title. When have you ever seen number one, undefeated number one? Now, in my rankings, if I have Wilder as number one in my rankings, that's why I put up my old rankings and then I used a little digital pencil thing and crossed out to revise it. That rankings I put up, the original picture is from 8 months ago. I don't do rankings every month. I do rankings like every 5, 6, 7, 8 months. That's why I use that so I can cross out and show you how I rearranged it. That's not somebody else's rankings that I used a little pencil thing that I used on my phone to color it out. No, that's me revising my own rankings from 8 months ago. So from 8 months ago, I had Wilder as my undefeated number one. Okay. If I have my undefeated number one taking on my undefeated number two, which I had Tyson Fury, they both have a controversial draw between them. The number two Fury beats the number one. How in the fuck am I going to move my now once beaten number one? How the hell am I gonna move him to third or fourth? But I get it, and no, and nothing against my real true UK fans, but I get it. You trolls want me to submit and kiss your feet, and you just want to visually see in the rankings three UK dudes as one, two, and three by any means, even if it doesn't make sense for Dillian White to be rated over Wilder. You just want to see it visually to have Fury, AJ, and White. That's what it is. If that was the case, then those would be my rankings. But it's not the case to have Dillian White rated above Wilder. How can you have somebody that doesn't make any sense? Because look, I'm telling you right now, if damn breaking down who he fought, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? All this who he fought and who he beat thing, it doesn't even matter, man. If you were to change, just change the people, okay? Dillian White, WBC champion, took on the same exact opponents as Wilder and gave us the same results. First round knockout against Brazil, a draw with Fury in the same fashion. We're just changing, not the outcomes of the fights. We're just changing the fighters around. Dillian White goes 9-1-1 in an 11 fight title reign for 5 years. Okay. He loses the Fury, but then I have Wilder. Let's say Wilder gave us the same performances and just the same exact outcome as Dillian White in his uh, journey as of right now, getting, damn near look like he's about to lose the Rivas, getting hurt, damn near stopped against Parker late in the fight. You guys would be saying, Mr. Boxing, how can you have Deontay Wilder above White when he was a reigning fight? You guys would be using the same argument, the same logic, because it's realistic logic that I'm using now. And you know you would. So why do you want to play pretend? Why play pretend? Why? All right, it's packing up in here, so let me see. Appreciate that $10 holla from my brother, man. The boxing spreadsheet, aka Blood Boxing, man. That's my brother right there. Now, so I'm gonna see if they showed up. Now, I pretty much answered two of the things you guys been just bugging me about over the last 24 hours, man. So let's see. But I'm still what's up to all the family, but this ain't really up to all the family type of thing, man. This is I want to answer these questions. T Scott, because there's an article out there, bro. Damn, I wasn't even thinking about looking that up. But if you search around though, bro, there's things out there that's saying that he let go of Breland. Don't mark it, in stone. I just gave my opinion to if he did, then that's my opinion of him letting him go. If he keeps him, then fair enough. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving my opinion to the news. If he did let him go, then that's my opinion on it. Yabes says Mr. Boxer, Mike Tyson lost twice to Holyfield. Why is it big that Wilder lost? It's a sport. Because man, there's people out there that were just praying, and bro, there's people to show up to my channel that I haven't seen in months. I mean, I thought they said I sucked and my boxing opinion sucked. They're coming back just to let me know that Wilder lost the fight. So I get it. It's sports. You know what I mean? But and like you said, it is sports. But when you have a fighter that's hated to the degree that Deontay Wilder is hated, and please, guys, don't sit here. Well, you guys ain't, but people out there think that a lot of us who support Wilder, and when I mean support him, not support him by saying, "Oh, you know what I mean, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and catch the fight on Saturday if I got a little time." You know what I mean? No, I mean really support him, man. Uh, to that degree, you got dudes that hate him that couldn't wait for him to lose. But they don't give a fuck how he lost, whether it was by knockout. I mean, that's all the merrier if it's by knockout, right? So then they can make memes and do their thing. And it's boxing. That shit's gonna happen, bro. Um, but they don't care if it was by literally a skin of the teeth type of decision loss. Just damn it, be a loss. You know what I mean? So they've been chopping at the bit to see him lose. And that's why I'm like, damn, it's just a loss, bro. Like, I understand the Wilder detractors and they want, a loss is a loss. And these things gonna happen in boxing, man. Just like when it happened to AJ, it's gonna happen and people are gonna laugh and do their thing. Um, Lala D, good morning. Haters have an opinion. Reed G says any pack goes out the window when someone who loves you sees blood leaking out of your head. Yeah, man. I mean, because that's a tough one, man. Because you cannot tell me when you see that you say, man, I hope ain't no brain hemorrhage, or you start thinking like that. You're not thinking like, okay, let's go out on our shield. It's one thing if it's a cut over the eye or your nose is bleeding or your lips busted or, you know, uh, you got a little knot over your head. It was like that shit with Hakeem Rockman. Remember when Rockman fought Holyfield? I would have want to stop that too. When it's shit like that to that degree, man, it's like, look, I'm not gonna sit here and play doctor, and I don't want this shit on my conscience if something does happen to this man in his ring. After seeing this, I mean, this shit's gruesome, grotesque. You know what I mean? So it's a decision you got to make, and when you make it, you got to live with it, man. But I looked at it like this: if something, let's say that bleeding from the ear was worse, okay, it probably look worse, right? But let's say it was as bad as it looked. How do you explain that to Miss Wilder? I forgot his fiance's name, but I'm gonna call her Miss Wilder. How do you explain that to Miss Wilder by his bedside? Hey, Miss Wilder, how you doing? I'm sorry for what has transpired, but we made a pinky swear, and I'm being sarcastic, but we made a pact that if he was the man, his wife would probably slap the shit out of him, man, right before he can even finish what the pact was. But Mr. Boxing, that's a female. They're emotional. They're this. Well, okay, what about explaining to his kids or his mom or his dad or his brother? Like, that's just me, man. And you guys know that I've made plenty of videos about I want to see blood. Well, shit, I did see blood. I saw it rushing out of his ear, man. Like, I mean, how much blood do you want to see? It was just like when Deontay dropped Dominic Brazil, and people had the nerve to come on and say, you know what, man, they're just overhyping Wilder. I mean, Brazil actually got up. Really? Same thing with Gerald Washington when he started, was like, man, these early stoppages is hyping Wilder. People are leaving messages like that on my videos, man. It's like, really? Like, how much more you want to see? I don't know. St. Cruzan believes that the 45-pound costume, 5-pound helmet, plus 19 pounds extra of just body weight, passing back and forth for 20 minutes, plus 15-minute ring walk affected his legs, and he believes it was a mistake. And if that is the case, St. Cruzan, you still got to go in there and fight, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you're not saying that, and I'm taking all that into consideration, but I'm just a firm believer in You still gotta get up in there and fight. And I think Wilder, if it is the case, bro, I don't think he should just brought it up. As I said on D Styles Live, save it for your book. Or you know what I mean? Or just talk to your team behind closed doors about it. But if you put that out there to the atmosphere and let it proliferate throughout the boxing community, man, it just doesn't come off right. Even to me. And I'm not one of your haters or detractors. I'm one of your supporters. I support the whole division because I wouldn't be sitting here making fucking videos about the most obscure heavyweights from fucking Uruguay and Puerto Rico and all this type of thing. So I support the division. But yes, I am a Deontay Wilder fan. Why not? We've been sitting here for years and decades and 15, 16 years, being disappointed by, and no shot at these guys, but I'm just saying being disappointed in the matter of us wanting an American heavyweight champion. Tony Thompson and Seth Mitchells and the Eddie Chambers. And yes, we know Shannon Briggs picked up a title, the WBO. And yes, we know that Charles Martin picked up a title. But the last American to have like a title reign, I'm trying to think, that had a long title reign. Was it Chris Bird's 4-year reign with the IBF? And I think Chris only fought a couple times in that 4-year reign. Literally, I think he fought McCline. Who else did? I don't have. My brain's everywhere right now. And a couple of them fights were borderline. Thought he should have lost. Was it Devera Williamson he fought too? I forget who Bird fought in his title reign. I know he ended it with a Klitschko loss, but you guys know what I'm talking about, man. You guys probably leave in the comment section, but we haven't had nothing. Now, if you would have told me in 2014, hey, Mr. Boxing, one of these guys, whether it's Jennings, Wilder, um, one of these American guys is going to win a title in 2015, and they're going to reign from 2015 to January to February of 2020. They're going to go 9-1-1 with 9 spectacular knockouts. You know what I would have said? Sign me up, because I've been waiting for that. Then we get it, and to some fans, it wasn't good enough. And the whole who he beat thing, I've been over that a million times. Because we can go to any era, any boxer, and say who he beat. They said the same thing about Mike Tyson in real time. Not this 30 years later, now you want to kiss his ass and praise him. I'm talking about in real time. Guys like Larry Holmes was being shitted on. Guys like Mike Tyson was being shitted on during their title reign. Of he's not beat nobody. This is a who's of nobodies. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And then he does have a spectacular, the best night of his life, the best against Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks is a blowing up light heavyweight. They just shit on it. Yeah, but Larry Holmes is fighting guys like David Bay and Ronaldo Snipes. These guys were nothing. He got getting hurt by guys like Mike Weaver. That's what they were saying in real time, you guys. He's fighting Marvish Frazier. He's fighting Tim. Who the hell is Tim Witherspoon? He only has 13 fights. I appreciate all the family. I'm gonna miss a lot of you guys, man. But I only got 5% left. I thought all these people would show up because they've been, I mean, literally going back and forth with me. So I'm trying to see if they're gonna show up. And obviously they're not gonna show up, just like I thought. Greetings, Gregory Wyatt, Lala D. Greetings to all the family, man. I'm just searching for the trolls. I'm trying to find them and they're not here. So what they're going to do is 5 minutes after I put this on archives, they're going to come in and start leaving comments. This is what's so corny about YouTube sometimes, man. But I will be going live again and I will give my breakdown of what I think from a fan's point of view and the outside looking in. Somebody's been watching boxing for 34 plus years or about 33 years watching boxing. What I think that Wilder, and I brought up a lot of this on, man, you guys just go to D Styles channel, man. He did a live on Monday, the Fury Wilder aftermath, where I laid all this out. So I gave all my, thing to, I gave it all to D Style on his channel, but I'll do it again. But about what I think about what Wilder should do moving on from here. What are some things I think he can fix, even though I think he is who he is, but things I think some wrinkles he can add. I'm not saying Wilder should come out there and fight like Joe Frazier. But I do think there's some wrinkles that he can add, and I'll just put it out there. Now, will these wrinkles help him beat Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury is a special fight. I think Wilder's special as well. These are the creme de la cremes of our era, man. I don't think we're so hell bent on just with this back and forth fan shit that we don't know, bro. We're looking at the creme de la creme of our era. Do you have to think these guys are better than Evander Holyfield? No. Do you have to think that these guys are better than Harry Wills? No. Do you have to think they're better than Joe Louis or Ali or whoever you think is way better than these guys? No. But this is the era we're in. There's people out there even not even giving Fury his full credit that are showing up to my comment section saying, man, I shit you not, y'all. There's a person that came to my comment section and said, Tyson, how was Tyson Fury #1 on your rankings? He hasn't even beat a top 10 opponent. I shit you not. We have fans like that out there. Salute to everybody, man. I see Punch caught up in here. Ronald Finkley, Gregory Wyatt, DB, uh, Black Ranger Boxing. Man, S. Clayton. Okay, S. Clayton is one of the people. He says, agree, Wilder would be above White and below Joshua. I don't agree with that. Let me see here. Man, these people aren't showing up. I don't see none of the names. They're not showing up. Salute Derek Bailey. Kamal Oz. I see you guys leaving messages, man. I'm not gonna be able to get to them, bro. I got like 4% of my battery. Let me say what's up to everybody, man. Because these dudes did not show up. Just like I thought. You want to play text tag like we're a fucking couple or something, man. We're not a couple, man. Let's just get, let's get the boxing talk going. I'm not gonna cuss you out. I'm not gonna run you away and try to change subjects. Let's just get it popping. But you're not here. Ronald Finkley, appreciate that $5 holler, my brother. I have Ortiz so highly in my sports because of his style, the eye test, the fact that he can't get nobody in the fucking ring with him, the fact that he fought Deontay Wilder twice and he got stopped, but he fought Deontay Wilder twice, did a good job in both fights, but he did get stopped, and that's the end result. And his wins, he has wins over the same guys that he has wins over the same people that a lot of these guys have wins over. Wilder also has a win, and Chisora also have a win over Malik Scott. Povetkin also has a win over Christian Hammer. So he's fighting the same type of people. But bro, if he can't get Dillian White in the ring, I mean, that don't necessarily mean that you need to rate him above him or anybody if that doesn't happen. But at the same time, though, it's like, well, damn, what is he to do? And then just based off the eye test and me seeing him against those same like opponents, he does just as good or even better. So to me, it's kind of like, well, shit. Now the next step is for them to fight. But if one fighter doesn't want to fight, I mean, what can we really do? Now I know White has came out and said that I seen an interview did with Scott where he came out and said that Ortiz turned down the fight. Come man, and a lot. I mean, DB was good, bro. He says they can't debate logic and common sense. And also looking at what Dillian White has done in some of his victories and all, he's been getting his ass kicked in a lot of his fights, man. He's won them. He's won some fights, but he's been getting beat in a lot. I'll be right back, you guys. All right, this is gonna die soon. Here, I only got a little battery left. Let me see. Gregory White, I appreciate that $5 holla. La La D, I appreciate that $2 holla. He says no. My sport says he didn't do better than Chisora against Scott. Uh, Rivas also beat Jennings, and White beat both of those guys. Ortiz hasn't fought a lot of fighters because, well, with that Rivas thing, bro, are you really counting that? Like, this dude gloves didn't get inspected. There's a lot of speculation behind that fight. I'm not just gonna overlook that shit. I know you're gonna say, but Mr. Box is not a proven, it's not irrefutable. But bro, they didn't get to check that man's gloves, that whole drug situation. I can care less what the protocol is. Bro, this dude went in there with all that shit that him and Eddie Hearn had some meeting that Team Rivas and them didn't know about. Man, that's just crazy. And as far as you say Chisora did a better job against Scott. I mean, Scott, and shout out to Malik. I communicate with Malik and everything. Malik didn't want to engage with Ortiz, man. He stayed away from him the whole fight. Like literally just lateral movement the whole fight in survival mode. It's hard to fight somebody in survival mode. Okay, fair enough, bro. Ortiz did a better job against Allen than White. Would you agree to that? You see, we can go back and forth with this. So since we're going back and forth with who did, you can place, look, bro, you can place White wherever you want to. Anybody can place White wherever they want to place him. I place Ortiz higher. I think Ortiz is the better fighter. I think Ortiz can beat Parker. I think Ortiz can beat Oscar Rivas. And Blood, you might be right, bro. Ortiz or Fury might be one of these guys where his thing isn't going to be a long. His he may end up retiring where his history won't be long title reign things. That probably won't be his go-to gold mark on his resume. His thing might just be big wins. Dethroning Klitschko, big win, huge win. Big isn't even a good one. Huge win. Uh, the win against Deontay Wilder, big win. Then Fury will go and look lackluster against Otto Wallen. Fury just may be one of them dudes that just he's gonna have just like probably the best wins out of everybody, but his thing ain't gonna be like a long run. You trying to get what I'm trying to say? The win over Chisora, my sports bro. I mean, Dillian White struggled both times against Chisora, and then struggled against. He literally was struggling against Marius Wack in his last fight. You put Marius Wack in front of Ortiz, he's going to dominate him, man. Yeah, and he struggled though, bro. So in my sports, keep it honest, bro. If Ortiz go look, even when Ortiz didn't look, that great against Christian Hammer, they shitted on him. I had to remind everybody, well, shit, Povetkin didn't look all that great against Christian Hammer. You know what I mean? So people are saying Deontay Wilder lost the fight against Fury in the first fight when technically, factually, virtually, it was a draw. Yes, he did win. You say AJ has beaten 5 of the top 8. Okay, but you also got to realize, man, some of you aren't realizing, man, that that may be, but at the same time, though, man, some of these guys like Parker and Martin, and some of these guys are not just willing to fight the same guys, man. That's why when a guy like Ruiz, when he does beat AJ, that catapults him because everybody's not willing to get in the ring with him because he's not no fucking cash cow. They're not just willing to step in there with him or Wilder or somebody of that ilk. They're just not. So that has to also be taken into consideration, in my opinion. And the reason I have Ruiz ahead of White is because, well, again, what world title, what historic feat, what history did Dillian White make? On top of if Ruiz was to fight White, I'm favoring Ruiz in that fight. And I've always said this. I'm not just saying it now to argue with you. I've always said this. My top 25 isn't something I just woke up and just, bro, my top 25 is of somebody that's been paying attention to this crop right here for 10 years, bro. I'm not trying to pull rank on you, but I'm just being real. I'm not just waking up and Wilder lost. Okay, let me just make a top 10. No, this is from being closely followed. And there was this dude didn't show up, but let me go ahead and answer this question because this dude didn't show up. This dude said, Mr. Boxing, um, you're a hypocrite. How can you have Fury number one? Yeah, this is the dude that said Fury hasn't beat a top 10 opponent. He doesn't even consider Wilder a top 10. Okay. That's number one. He said Fury hasn't beaten one top 10 opponent. Then when he does get this win that you're all happy about, it's against a guy that hasn't beat anybody. Okay. Cool. Bet. Um, Look, man, Yes, and so then the dude also he went on to say, Mr. Boxing, a few years ago. Now, listen, he said a few years ago, a few years, as in hasn't nothing fucking transpired in a few years. Okay, he says a few years ago you said that you were tired of doing rankings until all these guys fight each other. Okay, let me walk him through this like I'm talking to one of my sons. Okay, in 2016, I did say that. You know why? Wilder was undefeated. Parker was undefeated. Fury was undefeated. Dillian White, no, White had one loss. Ortiz was undefeated. Jarrell Miller was undefeated. There were a plethora of guys who were undefeated. Pulev and Povetkin had one loss, but from the Klitschko reign. It's fucking hard to have a top 10 when you have 12, 15 undefeated guys. That's why I said that. Now, idiot, fast forward 3 years later, they're all starting to fight each other. Wilder has fought Fury twice. Joshua has taken an L. He's no longer undefeated. Parker has taken an L. He's no longer undefeated. Do you catch my drift? Now it's somewhat easier to create. I can't even, I have to explain this. Now it's easier to create a top 10 because they're all fighting each other. And now all those undefeated records from that group of guys from 3 years ago, fast forward to now, they're losing. Yes, we are getting a newer crop in Herkovic, Dubois, Joyce, Yoka, who have undefeated records. This is not hard to understand. This is very actually simple. How can you not see that? I mean, how much more easy? How much easier do you want me to make this for you? Appreciate that $5 holler from my man King Louis to boxing. Y'all go subscribe to my man King Louis. Do you guys get that? You guys get what I'm saying? Somebody says stop crying. Okay. I'm allowing you to come in with some boxing talk. I went live for you guys. And the first thing you say is, what does it say? Stop crying. Go give your mom a okay. Ran out of boxing talk, just like I thought. I will allow you to come on, and you ran out of boxing talk because you have no boxing talk. I appreciate that, my sports. And look, bro, it's respect. When you come with respect with me, I'll respect you back. So, and you were one of the ones leaving respectful comments. Um, Wilder's record is embarrassing, this guy says. Okay. That's just something you threw out there. You have to go more in depth. You guys are in denial. In denial of what? He lost the fight. He got taken to school by somebody that used old school tricks um, that I love. I love them. If you guys been following me, you know my mentality about the history of the sport. I'm not some fly by night 2014, 2015, 2016 heavyweight fan. And most of you know that, so I'm not talking to you. Wilder has the worst record in the top in the top you guys blocked in the top 8 fighting top 8 ring oh, so now the Ring magazine means something. The same Ring magazine that has placed a 10 win or a 10 title retain uh a guy that's retained his title 10 times in a row, they just threw him behind a guy that ain't won Nan title. Nan title. Okay, you put him behind Joshua. I don't agree with that, but okay. Joshua has 3 titles. Okay. Okay. And even with that, I'm like, all right, I can if you have Fury, AJ, Wilder, okay. I get why you're doing it. But Dillian White, and now you want me to sit here and talk about what ring, who they have rated and why they haven't rated? Man, the hell with you and Ring. Thank you, Blood. And I'm gonna end it with what Blood said. And I appreciate all you guys, appreciate all the super chats this morning. I'm gonna end it with what my man Blood just said. He says these guys are chapters behind Mr. Boxer today too. We talked about the Ring Mag 10 years ago. Boy, get out of here. I can't say it no better than that. For the family that showed up, I appreciate you guys. For the trolls, Tay Tay Brown, hey, how you doing? I will. Oh, Red Gloves Militant, I ain't see you up in here, man. No time, long time no see. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. But the family that showed up, I appreciate y'all. Um, for the people that had questions that wanted to go back and forth, I appreciate you. For the trolls, I know you're listening. You're just afraid to leave that dumbass comment. I know how it feels, man. I know. You want to, you got your thumb on your phone, you got your greasy ass thumb from, eating up all your mom's food on the keyboard, and you want to press it and you want to say that dumbass shit, but now it just ain't coming out right now. I know. But when I'm off of this, you're gonna take your greasy ass hands and you're gonna fuck up your mom's keyboards and you're gonna type that rhetoric. And I'm not going to answer you. I'm just not. I'll only answer questions from trolls when we're going live like this. But sitting in your drawers with greasy hands in your mom's basement, fucking her keyboard up, taking up the internet, putting your name on the orange juice, I'm just not doing it. You guys come with a whole bunch of disrespectful shit. Hey, bro. I grew up around uncles. Like, I got the gift of gab to go back and forth on some shit talking. So if that's what you really want, we can get it down like that. Or we can just talk boxing, keep it mellow, keep it cool, calm, and relaxed. But if you want to add the shit talking and jabbing in there, we can do that as well. I know some of you like Mr. Boxing, you got to go to, nah, you got to smack some of these dudes up sometimes, man. You do. You really do. Man, I ain't seen this dude in a minute. Heavyweight boxing fan, what's good, man? I don't think I disagree, heavyweight boxing fan. And I'm going to tell you why, real quick. My damn battery's going to run out. I made a video about this. The video is still up, but the link is dead because once on BoxRec, once you try to uh, 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 click a old link, it disappears. If you think that, heavyweight boxing fan, go to my channel, type in Luis Ortiz rated #1 by BoxRec. People forget, once upon a time, BoxRec had Luis Ortiz rated #1. No, they didn't. No, it's on my channel, y'all. You know I ain't gonna make this shit up, and it's from a few years ago. So, heavyweight boxing fan, if you believe that, bruh, do you believe, I forgot when it happened, but it's on my channel. All you gotta do is type in Mr. Boxing Today, Luis Ortiz, rated #1 by BoxRec. If you believe that, do you believe once upon a time, throughout the last 4 or 5 years, and I know you just said you think there is the most accurate. I know you didn't say that it's fair, or you said that it's the most accurate and fair, to be honest, but I'm just asking you, um, how accurate and fair do you think that was for them to rate Luis Ortiz the #1 heavyweight? Because once upon a time he was on BoxRec. Then there was a few times I seen like Christian Hammer rated #7 a few times. Adam Konaki was like rated #5 like 2 years ago. There was one point in there, and I know they go by algorithm and point system. I understand that, but I think, to me, man, it's probably one of the most flawed. To be honest, that's just my opinion. Yeah, check that out, bro. I still have it on my page, but the link is no longer because I had referred it to somebody. It's like, for real, I'm gonna go check it out. They're like, the link is gone. The link don't work. I'm like, well, then I thought about, I was like, damn, BoxRec ain't gonna